for this, who tells this story. We're not telling the story, the history of the Hindu Holocaust, even like our brothers and sisters in different countries. We have also from Kanhadal Prabhananda from 1456, one of the records which this person has recorded. The conquering armies burned villages, devastated the land, plundered people's wealth, took Brahmins and children and women of all classes captive, flagged them with thongs of raw hide, and carried a moving prison with them, and converted the prisoners into obsequious Turks. And if you just read this out loud, it just creates shivers, creates goosebumps inside of even myself right now. How could we not tell this to the whole world? The amount of absolute tragedy, amount of destruction in its purest form that happened to Hindus. If you look at it in numbers, even, it is absolutely alarming. Nityanandam, sorry for that technical glitch. Yes. So I'm just going to reread this quote and then go over some statistics that literally could give anyone goosebumps and shivers. The conquering armies burned villages, devastated the land, plundered people's wealth, took Brahmins and children and women of all classes captive, flogged them with thongs of raw hide, carried a moving prison with them, and converted the prisoners into obsequious Turks. Now let's just look at these numbers. Over the course of the entire Islamic invasions, we know, and this is just a recorded number, we know for a fact that the recorded number is so much less than what the Islamic invaders actually did. So we know that 200 million Hindus were slaughtered by Muslim invaders, 100,000 temples were destroyed, and 1 million deities and sculptures were absolutely demolished. And now there was a physical brutality, physical phase of the Islamic invasion. But that is not the end of what we've been through. After the Islamic invasion, the British occupation of India started. And before I enter into this segment, I'd like to first ask each and every one of the viewers, so even the way that we are defining this phase in the Hindu civilization, the Hindu history, is called the British occupation. In our textbooks, it's called British occupation. But some of the laws of the so-called British occupation in India are exactly similar and parallel to slavery that happened in the United States against the African American people. So why are we not calling it the Hindu slavery? Why are we not calling it a huge racist movement against Hindus? Instead, it is called the British occupation. With that, I'd like to go into some of the gory details of what the British did in India, resulting in so many million more people's death and literally the destruction and enslavement of an entire civilization. From 1700 to 1947, the economic and psychological destruction of the Hindu civilization occurred. And this is also another description from Will Durant, a celebrated historian commenting on the British rule in India in 1930. He's saying, "I've seen a great people starving to death before my eyes, and I'm convinced that this exhaustion and starvation are due not, as their beneficiaries claim, to overpopulation and superstition, but to the most sordid and criminal exploitation of one nation by another in all recorded history." Now let's take a look at this in the real picture. 1947, what was actually going on by the British It was the time of World War II. It was a time when another part of the world was going through a huge amount of genocide. But what was a supporter, a so-called ally, doing in India at the exact same time? Causing the deaths of millions and starvation. The British occupation meant using all of the gold and looting so many different people, so many different treasuries, straight and giving that straight to the mainland kingdom in England. Now, British occupation used all possible means to destroy Hindu civil and cultural institutions in order to delegitimize and demoralize the indigenous people of India so that they can become slaves in their own homeland. And let's say this again, it's not an occupation. This is straight out slavery of an entire civilization. But we have not even done our due diligence in changing the textbooks of Hindu history. It is not an occupation. I'm sorry, but it is a slavery of entire civilization. And let's go over some of the points that make it so. One, discriminatory laws to instill feelings of racial inferiority. Didn't this happen in the United States with the Civil War? Engineered famines to starve natives into submission. Annexed Hindu kingdoms to undermine native rule. Another thing that has happened to so many Native Americans in the Americas. Annexed Hindu kingdoms to undermine native rule. Mistranslated Hindu scriptures to instill anti-Hindu narratives. Didn't this happen as justification propaganda in the Jewish Holocaust? Destroyed indigenous Gurukul education systems. All education systems, all schools for even Jewish children were destroyed and were no longer legal under the Nazi government in Germany. Just put the parallels to attest here. If you see that it is a genocide, but Hindus have not meant $45 trillion, which was looted from India, and 45 million Hindus dead due to famines and poverty imposed by British policies in reprisal of killings for the 1857 mutiny, and 680 native kingdoms usurped by the British Raj. One quote that we have here from Sashi Tharoor, one of the Indian members of the Indian Parliament, the British came to one of the richest countries in the world. Over 200 years of exploitation, looting, and destruction reduced it as a poster child of third world poverty. And this sums up literally exactly what the British occupation did in India. Now we have phase 3. After the 1947 partition or the independence of India, so-called independence of India, until the present day and age. This quote is from Jawaharlal Nehru, from his book, The Prison Diaries from 1935, where he says, what a disgusting, savage people we are. Politics, progress, socialism, communism, science, where are they before this black religious savagery? India can never be a Hindu republic. Unfortunately, at this time, it is important that these people had literally solicited India, a Hindu country, in order to snatch it away from its roots. Yes, the next slide, please. We have also B.R. Ambedkar, India's first law minister and principal architect of the Indian Constitution, the Pakistan or the partition of India. He's saying, if Hindu Raj does become a fact, it will no doubt be the greatest calamity for the country. No matter what the Hindus say, Hinduism is a menace to liberty, equality, and fraternity. it is incompatible with democracy. Hindu Raj must be prevented at any cost. These people who had designed the inhabitants of India, designed the constitution of India after the British occupation of India, had literally made it such that no Hindu could stay safe in India. And Hinduism was thus literally wiped from any kind of law. The modern Indian legal system, academia, and media all systematically undermine, suppress, and delegitimize Hindu institutions and culture. And here are some of the points that in which they do so. India's constitution established government control and taxation over Hindu temples, schools, etc., while religions are free from interference. Articles 26 to 30 of India's constitution discriminate against Hindus by giving special rights and benefits to non-Hindus. That means that non-Hindus got rights to scholarships, got rights to different minorities, got different minority rights. However, the same kind of rights were not applied to Hindus. Hindu kingdoms and self-governance was there, but was then abolished entirely. Anti-superstition laws were passed to criminalize Hindu practices. Mainstream Indian academics described Hindus as sexist, racist, backwards, and oppressors. And negative media portrayals of Hindus in Bollywood and TV go on until today. In even the most recent releases from Bollywood and different media houses in India, anti-Hindu narratives are one of the most popular and one of the most circulated in mainstream media. Media narratives are used to stereotype and demoralize Hindus. And this is going on from the last point which I said. Bollywood and other mainstream media outlets consistently portray Hindu gods and gurus as cartoonish, dishonest, corrupt, and sex in a manner similar to the British imperial propaganda. Media narratives are used to shape human consciousness and further political agendas. Now, this is accepted by all people, that media is an extremely potent weapon used in order to control a certain public. And we know it now. Each and every one of us is not new to this. We know that media plays a role in what the public knows and how the public is reacting. So how media is portraying Hindu gurus, Hinduism, and Hindu traditions matters a lot. If we are not able to see that, then if we're not able to even recognize what the media is doing and stand up for it, then what Hindus do we call ourselves? Racist British colonial stereotypes have been literally perpetuating in today's media, in literally some trailers for movies that are being released in 2021 and 2022. What have we done about this door as Hindus? Each and every one of us. Have we even written as much? Have we ever come out and rioted on the streets for it? Not even rioted, even just a peaceful protest. Have we done anything for it? This brings us to the next part of this segment, the revival of a Hindu nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the only Hindu leader who has been courageous enough and has done the hard work in actually reviving a Hindu nation. We have seen how the leaders who were creating India in its new beginning in 1947 literally pushed aside and made it illegal, made it absolutely irrelevant to bring a Hindu nation back into the world. But it is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself who is reviving a Hindu nation. And this quote I'd like to read out of what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself declared boldly against the anti-Hindu militant forces, and in order to revive and resurge Hinduism from a 5,000-year Hindu Holocaust. the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, declared, during the time of Mahabharata, we had 56 deshas, 200 states, 1,700 sampradayas, and 10,000 sampradayas and traditions. In all 56, we Hindus are persecuted. In all 56, we Hindus have lost all of Hindus, or we are a dying population. The last one to fall is Nepal. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, I am the collective voice of all persecuted Hindus. I will revive and rebuild a Hindu nation. Build on Vedagamic principles as a refuge for all practicing and aspiring Hindus, a safe haven for all persecuted Hindus. And this is not just Hindus in India, but Hindus in Pakistan, Hindus in Malaysia, Hindus in Cambodia, Hindus across the world who are literally dwindling in population. There are Hindus being converted every single day. There are Hindus dying every single day. And today, during the Pralaya, in India, there are Hindus dying in mass numbers. But what is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism doing? And not only this, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has come down as the incarnation of Paramashiva on planet Earth for the very purpose of reviving Kailasa and bringing superconscious breakthrough to the world. This revival of Kailasa, the Hindu nation, is for reviving the whole life of enlightened civilization and all great things it has to offer to the world, bringing legitimacy to all the offerings of Sanatana Hindu Dharma and sharing it with whole world is the purpose of Kailasa, the Hindu nation. Now let's understand the administration of Kailasa as per what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism declared. Kailasa is the revival of a cosmic constitution. Kailasa is the model nation of how enlightened civilization should be living and administered. Politics, judiciary, education, economy, everything will be revived as Paramashiva revealed in the Vedagamic Sanatana Hindu Dharma's scriptures. Being one of the most persecuted civilizations, Hinduism is on the brink of extinction, such that the next generation of Hindus may not even know Hinduism through only history books. And now let's just have a straight talk here for all the viewers. Do we know Hinduism? Are we practicing real Hinduism? If you are an NRI or if you are watching this, you're maybe under the age of 30. Are we really practicing Hinduism? You might be in America, you might be in anywhere in the world. You might be wearing bindi every day. You might be wearing Hindu traditional clothes and you might be proud of your culture. But are you doing your responsibility to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma from further destruction? What can we do to stand up for Hindu civilization and all that it has to offer to the world? Today, Hinduism is a political orphan. The preservation and restoration of Hinduism's spiritual and cultural heritage is impossible without a national identity. There is no Hindu nation in even India is proud of being secular, even as Hindus are dying every single day now during the pandemic. What can we do to save Hinduism? This is for all of the Hindus who are born Hindus, practicing Hindus, who are sympathetic towards Hindus, or even people who are curious for Hinduism. It is time now to reclaim our Hindu identity. Hinduism is responsible for our successful life. You are Hindu and you are healthy, wealthy, rich, successful, peaceful, happy, respectable, have a stable family, have the best mental setup. Hinduism is responsible for it. Our ancestors and Paramashiva himself is the one who is responsible, who has given the gift of each and everything that we are enjoying today. Hindu identity is responsible and Hindu scriptures are responsible. It is the Hindu scriptures that have given us the mental setup that we have today. If we see Hindus across the world, we have the least amount of divorce rate in all countries. In India, even less than 1% of divorce happens, and giving us stable families, giving us stable growth and happiness during our childhood, and making us successful in the outer world, making us being able to go to some of the largest and best universities in the world, and helping us be extremely successful in the largest, most successful companies in the world, and helping an entire civilization grow just out of technology and artificial intelligence. The next slide, please. Hindus are the richest and most successful ethnic community in the world. Hindu scriptures, Hindu lifestyle, and our enlightened masters are responsible for this. Hindu thought currents are responsible for this. Hindus are the most educated religious group in the United States. It is actually what is actually noted in the Hindustan Times as of 2019. That is not too long ago. And in fact, even today, Hindus are benefiting the most from the Hindu background that we've had. Not just anti-Hindu elements being active. It is responsible Hindu leaders who are inactive that have caused this destruction of Hinduism. It is now time that we have to take responsibility for Hinduism and let all Hindus all over the world reclaim our Hindu identity. And it is our responsibility as Hindus. It is the responsibility of Hindus to revive this ancient enlightened civilization again and again, and give all the gifts of the enlightened civilization to humanity. According to the World Health Organization, more than 264 million people of all ages suffer from depression. And according to the World Drug Report of 2019, 35 million people worldwide suffer from drug use disorders. According to the World Health Organization, once again, close to 800,000 people die due to suicide every year. And which is actually, if you do the math, one person every 45 seconds. Worldwide, more than 700 billion billion land animals are killed for food every single year. The revival of the ancient, enlightened, civilizational nation, Kailasa, is a survival need to humanity. Let's leave the pandemic aside. Even 2 years ago, these statistics were there. We were worried about global warming. But if we had followed Sanatana Hindu Dharma in scriptural truths, the solutions given by Paramashiva himself and revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in our scriptures, if we had just followed that with absolute adherence and integrity, we would not be in the situation that we are in today. This is an invitation to all Hindus. If you are born Hindu, practicing Hindu, sympathetic towards Hinduism, or curious towards Hinduism, wanting to explore Hinduism, you can become a part of this revival. Now, let us understand from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as the only hope for humanity who is reviving this, the sole, courageous, brave, and absolutely dedicated leader for the revival of Kailasa. How he has brought Kailasa as a gift for each and every one of us. Let's now watch this video where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives us exactly what we need to know.
Contribution. Hinduism, Veda Agamas have great things to contribute to the world. Like the great power manifestation science, the ancient culture and arts, the ancient lifestyle truths, the ancient medical practices and medicinal knowledge, the ancient indigenous cultural heritage and jewelry, perfume, dance, music, in every level, Hinduism has so much to contribute. Veda Agamic traditions have so much to contribute. To share all this with the world, to contribute to the world. Hindus need to tell the world what they are contributing in every level. The brand of Hinduism itself is enriching and empowering and enlightening. Hinduism is all about enlightening the world. Empowering, enlightening, enriching the world. Contributing. That is our spiritual life. That is our spiritual strength. That is our spiritual core principle. O humanity, I request you with folded hands, some one corner of the world, if you just give me few hundred acres, I will keep this whole science alive. Leave it for the whole humanity freely. Fortunately, Paramashiva has given me the power to decode all this Hindu medicinal system, Hindu judiciary system, Hindu social law and order system, Hindu power manifestation system, Hindu mental sciences system, Hindu yogic sciences, the sciences of Hindu biology, Hindu physics, Hindu psychology, Hindu physiology, Hindu chemistry, all this Paramashiva has given me the power to decode. Whatever the remaining scriptures are available with the humanity, Paramashiva has blessed me, and I have collected, not only I have collected and organized, I can decode. This whole science can be kept alive in any one corner of the world. Just few hundred acres are given for me to live peacefully and exist peacefully. I can store this whole thing alive and contribute it to humanity. Humanity can become better and better and better. I can make the planet Earth so much better place to live. I am here to contribute, and I will continue to contribute. As long as I am allowed to live, I will contribute. I have collected all the remaining available scriptures, maybe 2 crore books. 2 crore means 20 million, I think, books on Hindu physics, Hindu chemistry, Hindu biology, Hindu physiology, Hindu psychology, Hindu law and order, Hindu social system, the power manifestation sciences of Hinduism, yogic sciences of Hinduism. I have collected, and Paramashiva has given me the blessings and power to decode. I have decoded and continuing to decode them. If the humanity, somebody is kind enough to give me few hundred acres in one corner of the world and let me live peacefully, I can keep all these scriptures there. and go on sharing with the world, revealing these whole sciences to the world, and go on contributing. I don't need anything other than one cup of curd rice every day. That's all. A cup of curd rice per day over. I can go on be giving this to the world. I can add to the world. I can make the world better place to live. That's all I have to say. Thousands of medicines are described detail in ancient Siddha and Ayurvedic scriptures. Paramashiva has given me the power to decode them, read them, and properly translate and map them to the modern day human language. And I am ready to work 20 hours a day. I just need few hundred acres where I can sit peacefully and keep this library, run a Gurukul where thousands of people can learn this and share it with the world. Understand? I am only interested in contributing. If we can decode all this great knowledge, whole world can prosper from this knowledge. Whole world can enjoy from this knowledge. If I prosper, I will only create a university. I will not create anything else. If the Hindus prosper, they will only create education institutions. Because Hinduism is all about giving, contributing. If I prosper, I'll create university, that's all. Kailasa is all about university to decode the ancient sciences and share with the world. Understand? Every day I am sitting and going on decoding, writing notes on my books and writing details on my books. Whether it is making human beings manifest powers, and I have also now started downloading and decoding the science of making animals manifest powers. Whether making people manifest powers or healing, in every level, life is all about contribution.
If you understand, hear, listen to the words of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, you will understand why Kailasa is needed. And Devi Parashakti has warned all of Hindus that right now, what is going on in India is because we have not stood up. But for Hindus, it is not too late. You can declare now. You can change your future and change now and reclaim our Hindu identity. We must stand up now, and it's not too late. If you feel that this is your path, if you're a Hindu, if you are born Hindu, practicing Hindu, if you are sympathizing towards Hinduism, or you're even curious or you're just wanting to explore Hinduism. Now, you can ask in this Devi Parashakti Akashic reading that you want to start reclaiming your Hindu identity. You want to stand up as a Hindu with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and have her blessings and her grace and protection in this courageous and needed, survival needed effort. As we continue on in today's program, we will be understanding the different breakthroughs that people have had in this during the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading, and how you can have those breakthroughs in your life as well. How the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally opened up Kailasa to protect humanity and protect Indians and those who are really rushing, desperate for protection in Kailasa and Adi Kailash. So stay tuned for all of these upcoming segments as we go further on in today's program. For now, we will take a quick break and get right back with you.
Listen intensely. Life, consciousness in you does not end while your body drops dead. It moves from different universes, vertical time zones, lives in different time zones as per its free will, knowledge, desire, but ultimately to get enlightened, complete liberation, Paramashiva Padam, your soul has to come back to this Karma Bhumi, the Bhumandala. This Bhumandala and the Jati ecosystems, the caste ecosystems, Hindu, Jnana, Sannyasa, Yoga, Grihastha, multiple spiritual ecosystems are created for the souls to come back and rebirth and grow more and more towards enlightenment easily, quickly, in accelerated speed and space. Understand the secret of Sayujya Mukti. Your Kundalini Shakti experiences the bondage inside your body due to compulsive sexual appetite. All the male bodies building intense yogic body through yoga and pranayama, building the mind of Tyaga centric, will heal your compulsive sexual appetite and make you reach Sayujya. All female bodies, love-centered care, serving every being, will liberate you from the compulsive sexual appetite and make your Kundalini reach Sahasrara, which is Kailasa, Parama Shivapada, Sayujya.
Yes, Nityanam everyone. Welcome back. So we'll be moving on to the next segment of this program. How can you offer your gratitude to Devi Parashakti today before we receive her blessings and darshan? So what are the various offerings to Parashakti? So before we move on to that, let us understand the significance of offering. So offering is a giving of divine gift of pure love, devotion and oneness. And it consists of two parts. Number one is giving and number two is accepting. So only when the divine accepts what one offers, the offering itself, it becomes complete. So offering is not made out of any fear or greed. So when an avatar, he lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela played only for the purpose of enlightenment. So let us understand more about the significance of an offering and what are all the offerings we can offer to Parashakti. So before that, we will enter into the Dhyana Sloka from the Moola Agama of Manomuni Dhyanam. It says, Induni Baveda Karavagni Nayanam Syat Pankajabharabhaya Japakshasarayuktam Angahimabhushana Vichitra Vasanam Syat Tungamakutojvala Manonmani Swarupam. Yes. This beautiful Dhyana Sloka, it just talks about Devi like she has a moon-like face, holding the Vedas, the books on hand, the fire in eyes, with lotus flower grazing and blessing hands, and one hand with Japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments in wonderful clothes, shining big crown, and her name is Manonmani. And we have the next Dhyana Sloka which says, Dhyaye Devim Trinetram Sashini Bhavadanam Veda Hastam Dadanam Savye Padmam Varadama Pare Chabhayam Chakshamalam Divyairabharanai Vibhushita Tanum Brahmadi Vipujitam Devimeva Manonmanim Pratidinam Kamarta Datrim Shubham. So this Dhyana Sloka beautifully explains, I meditate on Devi with three eyes, glowing like a moon, and hold the Veda, the lotus, and grazing with blessing and grazing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments. She is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods, and showers auspicious boons for all the actions every day. So let us now understand the significance of the divine element gold. So the gold is a divine element. It purifies anything it touches. It is an element of spiritual significance and great spiritual power of healing and enlightening. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears and anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity. So gold is literally present in all the scriptures, the Vedas, the Agamas, the Shastras, the Itihasas, the Puranas. So in all Hindu scriptures, it is abundantly displayed that gold is the most auspicious and the purest metal which purifies our being. So in Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold, and even the ritual feasts were offered in golden bricks. So when one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and it was used for weighing equivalent amount of commodities, including cows. So kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold, and the streets would have huge columns and huge archways of gold. So horses and cows were dressed up in gold. So the Hindu civilization literally thrived on the banks of the river of gold. Indus River was called as the Hiranmaya, the river of gold in Rig Veda, and the river Saraswati was called Hiranyavartani in Atharva Veda. So gold is the supreme element for offering the gifts to ones you love and revere. So temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold, decked and adorned in gold because it preserves the enlightenment energy for thousands of years and it lasts forever. So with that beautiful importance of the significance of offering gold to Devi Parashakti. Now let us understand what is the first offering to Parashakti. The first offering is E-Hundi offering. So you can offer any amount as a kanikal, as a deep token of gratitude to Devi Parashakti at her feet. So the beautiful Shastra Pramana, it says, Bhakti Priya Bhakti Gamya Bhakti Vashya Bhayapaha Shambhavi Sharadaradhya Sharvani Sharmadayini. So Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion and she removes all the fears. So literally you can offer any amount at the feet of Parashakti and you can manifest whatever you want as your reality and your name will be chanted out during the puja when the puja is offered to Parashakti. So you can offer any amount to as an e-hundi offering to Devi Parashakti. Next offering is the Sankalpa chanting. So the Devi Mahatmyam, it beautifully says, Tayaitan mohyate vishwam saiva vishwam prasuyate sayachitta cha vijanam tushtarudhim prayaschati. So the goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess, being prayed without interest in anything, gives that knowledge that leads to salvation and gives wealth in materialistic sense. So you can offer the Sankalpa chanting, the conscious resolution, receive the blessings from Parashakti, and whatever wishes you're yearning for to make it into reality, you can actually offer the Sankalpa chanting and avail this opportunity from Devi Parashakti. So you can offer the Sankalpa chanting at $1. The next offering is the Sahasranama Swarana Kasu. So the Lalita Sahasranama verse, it says, Nama Parayana Prita. She who likes the repetition of her various names. So this is an offering of the 1008 names of Devi Parashakti and it is a very special and unique archana which is offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. So you can offer this golden coin which is inscribed with each of these 1008 names of Parashakti and literally awaken all the divine qualities, the Ananta Kalyana Gunas of Parashakti inside of you. So it is available at $755, $151 and $251. So the next offering is the offering of the finger ring with a pearl, the Mukta Anguti. So the Meenakshi Pancharatna, it says, Mukta Harala Satkirita Ruchiram Purnendu Vaktra Prabham Shinjannu Pura Kinkini Manidaram Padma Prabhavasuram Sarvabhishta Falapradam Girisutam Vani Rama Sevitam Meenakshim Pranatosmi Santatamaham Karunya Varam Nidhim. I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls and the face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by the goddess Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. So literally you can offer this finger ring, the pearl finger ring to Devi Meenakshi and receive the blessings to be showered by her compassion and pure love in all your business endeavors. So you can offer this finger ring with the pearl at $251, $501 and $750. The next offering is the Swarna Padma Pushpam, the golden lotus. So the Kamikagama verse, it explains all the kalasas should be wound around with suitable thread and covered with new cloth. So they should be adorned with lotus flower made of gold. So the significance of lotus flower is very beautiful in the Hindu tradition that hundreds of scriptural references are there where each of the worships, it involves the lotus flower, the lotus pericarp or the lotus petal. So it is itself is a divine flower. So you can offer this lotus flower of any size you wish to and you can receive the blessings of Parashakti literally to awaken the state, the space and the powers of Parashakti in your inner space. So any kind of an adverse situation you're facing in your life, you can offer the Swarna Padma Pushpam, the golden lotus and remove the obstacles. So you can offer this at $600 and you can go into the link tiny.cc/Devi offerings. The next offering is the offering of the golden toe ring, the Swarna Metti. Yes. So the beautiful verse, it explains, you whose brightness from the toenails destroys the darkness of ignorance from the minds of devotees who prostrate at your feet. So literally when you offer the story, you're touching the feet of Devi Parashakti and holding on to her feet and getting her blessings even in the most difficult aspects of your life. So you can offer this Swarna Metti at $750. So the next offering is the offering of the Swarna Mangtika, the golden hairline jewelry. So Sudha Sarabi Varshini, she who makes the nectar flow in all our nerves from the Sahasrara. That means she gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. So the Mangtika, it represents the nectar flowing from the Sahasrara chakra, which is fully opened. So you can offer this Swarna Mangtika to Devi Parashakti and receive her blessings of achieving the blissful state of overflowing gratitude and space of complete completion. So the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of Pratyaksha Pada Puja. So the Saundarya Lahari, it beautifully says that the nails of Parashakti have been sharpened by constantly being touched by the crowns of the celestial beings who always prostrate before Devi. So Tamo Guna is darkness, and in this sloka, the tamas is indicative of ignorance in the minds of devotees, and by constantly prostrating before Devi, their ignorance is removed and they attain knowledge. So you can offer this Pratyaksha Pada Puja to Shakti and receive all the blessings and auspiciousness of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam. So you can offer this Pratyaksha Pada Puja at $1,008. So the next offering is the offering of Vastra Seva. So the Vastra Seva is also a part of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja. So you can also offer this Vastra Seva and receive the blessings from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So here we have the list of all the offerings to Devi Parashakti, the E-Hundi offering. So you can offer any amount at the feet of Parashakti and offer it as a kanika to the feet of Parashakti. Next is the Sankalpa chanting, the offering your conscious resolution for $1. The Devi Sahasranama Kasu, the golden coin with the sacred name of Devi inscribed in each of the golden coin. The Mukta Anguti, the pearl finger ring. The Swarna Padma Pushpam, the golden lotus flower. The Swarna Metti, the golden toe ring for the lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. The Swarna Mangtika, the golden hairline jewelry. The Pratyaksha Pada Puja and the Vastra Seva. Yes. So with that, we have the link to which you need to be going on and offering your seva by making an online payment. So you can go to the link and click on to tiny.cc/Devi-offerings and make your payment to offer your seva, offer any of these sevas which are mentioned and offer your deep gratitude and devotion to Parashakti. And once you make the online payment, you can submit your details for offering your puja, the names to be chanted in the link tiny.cc/Sankalpa 2021. So now I'll be taking you through a small walkthrough of how to make the online payment for offering the seva to Parashakti. So once you click on to the link tiny.cc/Devi offerings, you'll be guided to this page. and you can go and choose an option. So whichever option you want, you can actually opt for that seva. For example, if you want to offer the Swarna Padma Pushpam, you can go and click on to the Swarna Padma Pushpam and add to the cart. So once you add to the cart, you can move and you can proceed to check out the next link. So once you proceed to check out, you'll be guided to this page where you need to fill out all your billing details, your email addresses, and your name, and then you can place your order. So after you place your order, you can go to the next link to submit your names for the Sankalpa chanting. Go to the link and click on to the next and fill out all the details, your name, your country, and all your details, and select the Devi Parashakti Bhava Samadhi Darshan option. And once you click on to the next, your names will be chanted during the puja. So this is one more option where you can offer your e-hundi offering to Parashakti, your Panikai. So under the live stream option in the YouTube, you can go ahead and click the super sticker and the super chat option to offer your e-hundi offering to Parashakti. So these are the various ways you can offer the sevas to Parashakti today during the Akashic reading and Bhava Samadhi Darshan of Parashakti herself. So with that, we come to the conclusion of the session and we'll be going on to the next segment of this program after a short break.
Listen intensely. Life, consciousness in you does not end while your body drops dead. It moves from different universes, vertical time zones, lives in different time zones as per its free will, knowledge, desire, but ultimately to get enlightened, complete liberation, Paramashiva Padam, your soul has to come back to this karma bhumi, the Bhumandala. This Bhumandala and the Jati ecosystems, the caste ecosystems, Hindu, Jnana, Sannyasa, Yoga, Grihastha, multiple spiritual ecosystems are created for the souls to come back and rebirth and grow more and more towards enlightenment easily, quickly, in accelerated speed and space.
The next segment is about Kailasa's multi-layer quarantine opportunity for India during COVID-19. Before we move into the segment, let's have a quick glimpse about the revelations of Devi Parashakti on 12th of May 2021, when she revealed that India is the biggest spiritual land where enlightened beings happen again and again, flower as the enlightened beings, and benefit the world. We cannot afford to lose Bharadam. We cannot lose the enlightenment womb. In order to save the world, save the cosmos from the cosmic deluge, I built a ship called Adi Kailasa. In order to protect the humanity from the cosmic deluge, I gathered together all the spiritual energy of the cosmos and built the ship called Adi Kailasa. Due to the cunning strategy of the treacherous people and the ruling of the enemies, the captain of the ship itself had to leave the ship. Now, let all come and take a good bath, get protected, and get healed and get all the benefits. Make use of the ship which I built out of huge grace and compassion, and protect yourselves from the cosmic deluding destructive dance. For India, I made the ship as protection. The Nityananda Navapashana Lingam in Vaidya Sarovar. Go to Adi Kailasa. Crores of people will come there looking for health, Navapashana water, feast, and medicine. To get the health and protection and enlightenment, for all of them give Annadan. To protect India from great destruction, I, Parashakti, made this huge ship. Even if the captain of the ship is not there, ship is there. So what we saw from the revelations of Devi Parashakti, even if the captain of the ship is not there, the ship is there. The captain of the ship, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidana, His Divine Holiness Swamiji, even if he is not there, because of the persecution from the anti-Hindu elements and anti-Guru Hindu media mafia and the Neo-Hindutva groups, because of the brutal persecution from them, even if the captain of the ship is not there, he has built this ship out of grace and compassion. He has built this Adi Kailasa Sarvanya Peetam, where the Nityananda Navapashana Lingam is installed 12 years before. And now it is going to get ripened. The whole energy is going to get ripened on the occasion of Guru Purnima, which is going to protect the entire humanity from the ongoing pandemic. Just if you see today's COVID-19 stats, it's a 63.8K. India sees slight rise in the new cases. About 1K plus deaths are being recorded. The coronavirus new variant, new Delta plus variant in India, all you need to know about the new strain. So finally, the scientific community has now identified the new variant. So far, the new variant was not identified, and that led to medical diagnostics problems. But finally, they have found out the new Delta variant. But even then, after finding out, there's going to be still more issues from the medical community in terms of developing the assay and diagnosis further. Now, let us see the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, for which he was persecuted. What made these anti-Hindu elements to persecute Swamiji? If you see Swamiji's contributions, it covers a wide range of humanitarian efforts, religious efforts, reviving the religious authentic legitimacy of the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and reviving the spiritual legitimacy of Hinduism. So the meditation classes were conducted in local schools by the Kailasa's White Om International Agency, Sovereign Order of Kailasa, which is personally guided and blessed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And you can see here in 2004, the secondary school students were blessed to learn the truths of life and underwent powerful meditation under the guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism way back in 2004 itself. In 2006, Swamiji guided the school students again in the super conscious living. This is one Trichy in Tamil Nadu. This is way back in 2008 with the engineering college students. This is the first confluence for the world peace to honor the memory of those who lost their lives and of those who risked their lives to save others during the terrorist attack at the World Trade Center on September 11th, 2001. This is from the Peace March to unite the people of all the religions for peace was initiated by heads in southern India. This is from January 2009. This is from the Peace Walk by the Peacekeepers of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa in South India. Even with a fractured hand, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was engaged in selfless work day and night, inspiring the peacekeepers of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa to engage protruding out of the skin. In 2013, 2 steel implants that were fastened in 2011 were removed as the bones had healed completely. This picture is after that surgery. And here you can see in 2006, a monk of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa donating blood. This is from 2009, the representatives of Kailasa's Red Om handing over their collected donation for Karnataka's
April 2008, a spiritual conference and meditation program led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, organized by Kailasa's White Om, attended by the citizens of Kailasa. The message here from the former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, commending the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on the occasion of Jayanti on 30th December 2007 for creating a peaceful environment in the society by making the citizens spiritually aware, it being an important societal mission. And he recognizes that Nityananda Mission, Kailasa, is across 33. And here you have the former President of India during a meeting in Delhi, and he releasing the flagship book, and he's giving this whole commendation and very heartfelt wishes and his message to the world saying, Swamiji, it is such a joy to experience your blissful smile. When we were children, we lived blissfully, smiled a lot, and were really happy and fulfilled. But as we grow, we lose our smile. Yet when I see you carry and radiate such a divine bliss. If I could ask you for something, Swamiji, I would request you to spread the same bliss that you carry inside you to the entire world. If you could do that, I would be very happy. And needless to say, that is exactly and lot more than what the former President of India asked the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been giving to the world in various levels. 22nd March 2007, one can see the California Legislature Assembly recognizing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as an enlightened master, modern mystic, greatest saint of modern happiness through meditation. 9th November 2007, the Senate of the State of California, recognizing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for his spirit, dedication, efforts to raise awareness of the Vedic tradition and to usher positively on global peace and universal brotherhood. One can see various certificates, including 1st September 2009, this time from Canada, Toronto, recognizing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for his contributions as a global ambassador. Across India, across the West, US, Canada, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, his efforts to bring about a complete transformation, superconscious breakthrough in humanity, being recognized by worldwide leaders. 6th October 2009, Oklahoma City acknowledging the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for his unselfish service to the people of Oklahoma City while serving for their spiritual well-being. So the whole world, in a very short time, recognizing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and his contributions to humanity at large. Coming back to India, 30th April 2016, a postage stamp on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was released by the Indian Postal Department on the occasion of the Kumbh Mela, which is the largest spiritual gathering on the planet Earth. 24th October 2015, the Senate of the State of California recognized and congratulated the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for highlighting and educating the community on Kumbh Mela. And 11th October 2015, one can see the Akhil Bharatiya Akhada Parishad, which is the apex body of Hinduism, giving the authorization and requesting the Nityananda Hindu University, which is as only organization that can conduct the Kumbh Mela festival outside India. Here it is saying, the letter which is saying, since 2007, Nityananda University and Nityananda Sangha have successfully conducted 4 Kumbh Mela events in the United States of America, and we are confident that they will continue to do so in a way that preserves the sanctity and significance of the festival. "30th September 2017, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was awarded the Guinness World Record for the largest rope yoga class, Kundalini Raju Yoga. October 2017, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was awarded the Guinness World Record for the largest pole yoga, Shiva Stamba Yoga class. And no other spiritual leader having such a credential to his credit, where 3 Guinness World Records, and in a pretty short span of 3 months, 16 December 2017, yet again another world record, the largest human Om symbol, and which is being given to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Nityananda University at Bangalore on 16 December 2017. So, across the world, within India, and setting world records, which for a lifetime is an achievement for someone, in this case, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism getting establishing 3 Guinness World Records in 3 months. And 18th October 2017, a whole city, the city of Montclair, is declaring Paramahamsa Nityananda Day in recognition of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's contribution to the superconscious evolution of humanity. Across the whole decade, way back in 2012, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was named among the world's 100 most spiritually influential personalities by a renowned esoteric magazine, Body, Mind, Spirit. One can see here Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism listed as one of the top world influential personalities. And a few years back, 31st May 2018, this time in the field of humanities, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was conferred the honorary doctorate in humanities by the Commonwealth University. 29 October 2018, the United Nations Global Development Organization respectfully presented to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for, you see, the certificate for the superconscious evolution of humanity. 25th April 2019, the Azteca University in Mexico recognized the tremendous scientific contribution made by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the field of superconsciousness and awarded him an honorary doctorate in the sciences for this. So one can see, spanning the whole spectrum, be it certificates of recognition, invitations, receiving the keys to the cities, honorary doctorates, Guinness World Records. Everything and much more is what the world showered on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the whole decade. From the time the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism entered his public life in a huge way back in 2000, right up to 2010, and the second decade, where after the massive persecution done to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, he not only continued but intensified his contributions to humanity, and humanity yet again the world recognized the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Before we go into the next segment on what the world gave back to Hinduism, let's take the time to register ourselves to join the COVID Care Protection Center, which, as we just saw a little while back, the COVID-19 pandemic taking the lives of millions, especially India, affected very badly by this COVID-19 pandemic and its repercussions, its other morbidities and accompanying infections, be it black fungus, white fungus, yellow fungus, or what came out yesterday, green fungus. If one wants to protect oneself, as Devi Parashakti revealed, register given below, https://kailasa.org with a AA/Kailasa care. Let's take a few minutes to register ourselves at this link.
परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द 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 परमशिवोऽहम् Understand the secret of Sayujya Mukti. Your Kundalini Shakti experiences the bondage inside your body due to compulsive sexual appetite. All the male bodies building intense yogic body through yoga and pranayama, building the mind of Tyaga centric, will heal your compulsive sexual appetite and make you reach Sayujya. All female bodies, love-centered care, serving every being will liberate you from the compulsive sexual appetite and make your Kundalini reach Sahasrara, which is Kailasa, Parama Shivapada, Sayujya. Listen intensely. Life, consciousness in you does not end while your body drops dead. It moves from different universes, vertical time zones, lives in different time zones as per its free will, knowledge, desire, but ultimately to get enlightened, complete liberation, Paramashiva Padam, your soul has to come back to this karma bhumi, the Bhumandala. This Bhumandala and the Jati ecosystems, the caste ecosystems, Hindu, Jnana, Sannyasa, Yoga, Grihastha, multiple spiritual ecosystems are created for the souls to come back and rebirth and grow more and more towards enlightenment easily, quickly, in accelerated speed and space. Understand the secret of Sayujya Mukti. your Kundalini Shakti experiences the bondage inside your body due to compulsive sexual appetite. All the male bodies building intense yogic body through yoga and pranayama, building the mind of Tyaga centric, will heal your compulsive sexual appetite and make you reach Sayujya. All female bodies, love-centered care, serving every being will liberate you from the compulsive sexual appetite and make your Kundalini reach Sahasrara, which is Kailasa, Parama Shivapada, Sayujya.
Next, we are going to see the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. What made these anti-Hindu elements to attack the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism? On 2nd of March 2010, Sun TV, a politically owned media house, was the ruling party of the state of Tamil Nadu. They made a sensational and repeated screening of a fabricated video perpetrating to show the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with the well-known Indian film actress. The video was later proved to be false. It was proved to be false, and the judge ordered the television station to run an apology for it every 2 hours for 7 days. Hansraj Saxena, the CEO of the Sun TV, he publicly confessed to US court detailing the history and modus operandi of this blackmail and extortion, and he was jailed for the same. The state-owned and controlled television channel within few hours ensured that the television telecast was stopped. The ASMT has captured the video recording of the telecast and has this as an evidence of the same. But this did not remedy the damage that happened. Following the hate propaganda started by the DMK affiliated Sun TV, the politically owned Neo Hindutva media amplified the misinformation and hatred spreading to its entire country with titles as Hang the Sin Swamis.
This resulted in marginalization of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and his community, which is the Adi Shaivite minority community, that they were neither able to receive fair trials from the judiciary nor sympathy or empathy from the society. On 26 March 2010, the Karnataka State Police, CID, unlawfully sent letters to banks holding the accounts of the public charitable trusts of the temple monastery of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, illegally ordering them to freeze all the bank accounts of these trusts. So on the one hand, the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with an absolutely false, baseless lawfare on him, coupled with massive hate propaganda and direct assassination attempts on him, and on the other hand, trying to kill and finish the whole enlightenment spiritual ecosystems established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, direct attack on Kailasa by choking the bank accounts and the money flow of the Kailasa's various humanitarian and spiritual mission services. No debit transaction was allowed. It was suddenly a whole freeze on the bank accounts, though the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was not involved directly in the functioning of these charitable trusts, they being public charitable trusts, and hence they were in no way connected even to the attacks, the illegal attacks on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. But the whole aim was make the main source of food and basic amenities for the residents of the Adinam a huge struggle. It ended up that there was no food in the monastery. The residents were pushed to a crisis. The whole aim was shake and collapse the whole ecosystem so that people literally have to abandon the ship and run away. The residents were pushed to crisis and they were forced to survive by drinking rainwater, which collected underground, and lived by sorting literally the good grains from the rotten ones and sit and sift through worm-infested rotten grains to just get some good grains. When the residents appealed to the court to seek relief against this absolutely illegal act of the state, the judge went on to make a mocking statement in the open court. If there is no food, eat air. Several residents and full-time volunteers actually had to flee the monastery due to starvation. Several social welfare and spiritual services of the monastery had to be discontinued. Although the Indian law and customary international law and treaties unanimously declare presumption of innocence of an accused until proven guilty, this fundamental right of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and his disciples have been repeatedly targeted and denied for over 10 years because of undue influence and misinformation by powerful state-funded media houses. On 11th June 2010, when hearing of the bail petition in the false case against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the High Court of Karnataka observed the undue media influence against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where it actually mentioned, the order mentioned that the whole issue is being subsidized by the media. What does the word subsidy mean? As per the Oxford Dictionary definition, to give subsidy or subsidize means to give or contribute a sum of money to support an industry or business to keep the price of its product or service low. What the High Court observed was that the attacks and allegations on the character of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism were funded by the media, not sustained or corroborated by facts or any complainant or witness who was part of any case. One can see here the newspaper itself highlighting the facts that the court took serious exception to filing an incomplete affidavit when it found that the affidavit did not disclose anything on the recordings of statements by witnesses with regard to the case. And under the guise of suspicion, how long can you, police, torture a person mentally? This is the remark made by the judge of the High Court of Karnataka, actually empathizing with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the massive persecution done to him.
The media had no obligation to make true claims, was under no declaration of any oath in any court of law, and they could any time retract from any of its claim and had no locus standi in court on legal grounds. But the media has a very prominent influence in negatively prejudicing the judiciary against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the ASMT community. Now, let us see how the Chief Minister influenced the judiciary here. So on 3rd of March 2010, he passed a public statement inciting hatred towards Swamiji and the ASMT community. And this statement was published by several newspapers and cited by several media channels, literally terrorizing Hindus to come and support for the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So he told the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, he gives an open statement, he literally stereotyped and vilified Swamis. He labeled them as cheats, imposters, brainwashers and destroyers of the life of the people. Please understand, he is making a remark for all the Hindu gurus who are carrying the Sanatana Hindu Dharma forward amongst the people. So he is vilifying and stereotyping the Hindu gurus as cheats, imposters, brainwashers and destroyers of life of people. He further calls them out as despicable Swamis, hoodwinkers who are disguising in the name of devotion. So he is literally abusing the entire Guru parampara of the Hindu tradition, and he is threatening people. Literally, by this public statement, the Chief Minister is threatening people. Anyone who follows Guru, anyone who is following the Hindu Sampradaya, they'll be called as the hoodwinkers who are disgusting in the name of devotion, pushing the illiterate into deep pit. And he threatens by saying that my government cannot tolerate the despicable Swami's hoodwinking acts. People who are deeply buried in ignorance, who cannot still understand these, or even if understood, do not want to change. Those fickle-minded people who have fallen prey to these Swamis and destroying the society. So he labels people who follow gurus, people who follow the Guru Sampradaya, they are fickle-minded people. And he goes on to tell that they are destroying the society. So this is how the hate speech was spread by the Chief Minister of a state itself, right after spreading this false fabricated video in multiple media houses. And the Chief Minister explained his stand on practicing Hindus who followed gurus like Swamiji as this government won't be a mute spectator of those fickle-minded people who have fallen prey to the Swamis and destroying the society. So here he is openly threatening all the Hindus. Any Hindu who is following Guru Sampradaya, they will not be spared anymore by the government. Those who really want these preachers to be eradicated should stand by and support the actions my government is taking. So here is a call out for all the anti-Hindu elements and neo-Hindutva groups to stand by him and support to destroy people, whoever is following the Guru Sampradaya. So can you believe this is actually a public statement made by the chief minister of a particular state? And this is happening right after the fabricated video was released in multiple media houses. This whole propaganda is hate inciting and it is threatening Hindus to follow Guru Sampradaya. In a similar interview with the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, he further goes on to say that on March 3rd, where in the context of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism,
he said, of late, immorality has been rampant in temples and monasteries. We will organize a meeting of the committees formed on behalf of the government and Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Department, which is actually the state department which is in control of all Hindu temples in the state of Tamil Nadu, and discussed regarding taking actions to stop this. So a blatantly open call to action on all levels, be it gathering the anti-Hindu terrorist elements together or telling the state departments, which are all obviously under his control, to take action in every which way to eliminate the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa itself. On 12th April 2010, the parent organization of the Chief Minister hosted a press meeting where the leader of this anti-Hindu atheist terrorist, one Mr. K. Veeramani, said, central and state governments should clearly take criminal action against them. The crores of property they have earned through crooked means should be taken over by the government. It is to be noted here, we are witnessing public hate propaganda being propagated by the state itself and a call for governments on all levels within the country, the central and the state governments, to take so-called criminal action. But what was the crime done? Nothing mentioned. What is the case about? No mention. Who is the victim? No mention. Yet, a massive hate propaganda on the basis of a fabricated video which was made and released and spread virally by the television channel owned by this very state wing, and which some years later was found to be at the hub of a massive scam running to literally billions of dollars. The fabricated video of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism became a political justification for the state government to implement and execute anti-Hindu laws and executive orders that destroyed all Hindu temples in Tamil Nadu over the next decade. Earlier on 5th March 2010, just 3 days after the fabricated video was released, the same leader of the anti-Hindu terrorist elements had given an interview where he said, in the context of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and other Hindu gurus, if you probe them, they will ultimately end their life in jail, almost national criminals. Following the statement of the Chief Minister, the very next day, on 4th March 2010, the State Police of Tamil Nadu filed fabricated accusations on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, charging him under Section IPC 376 of the Indian Penal rape, without mentioning anybody as even a victim of rape, not even a witness to the so-called crime of rape. No evidence, nothing to substantiate this absolutely baseless charge. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continued to be hounded by the police of not less than 3 states, and the neo-Hindutva media supporting, fueling this whole hate propaganda, and the state intelligence itself for months. Within days, more than 50 Adi Shaivite minority temples and monasteries in different cities were attacked simultaneously and rapidly, some set on fire and shut down by the atheist terrorist militants aiding the state police, including the very spiritual headquarters of Kailasa at Adi Kailasa and the very quarters of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, not only set afire, but he, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, locked inside the quarters, the whole hut doused with the inflammatory materials, literally petrol bombs thrown on it, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism attempted to be burnt alive while the whole thing was being flashed live on television channels of the state and of the country, and the police watching this, not only taking no action, but stopping the residents even from putting out the fire. The Adi Shaivite minority Hindu deities were desecrated and burnt. Billboards and banners of the community and the deities which were hung inside or nearby the temples also set on fire throughout the states.
The Tamil Nadu state police fabricated the accusations against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. In next few days, the politically owned neo-Hindutva media, they amplified the misinformation, spreading it to the entire countries with the titles "Hang the Sin Swamis." The number of attempts to assassinate Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism followed. Before we go to the next segment, let's have a short break and we'll be right back.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
Welcome back. On 3rd March 2010, 100 militants of the Karnataka Rakshana Vedike and other neo-Hindutva militant groups entered the Bangalore monastery, ambushed the residence hut of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, pushed him inside the hut and set it on fire while the police watched and did not allow even the monastery residents from putting out the fire. This was even flashed in the media, including the inability and not the reluctance of the police to offer protection. The police threatened the monastery residents of filing fabricated accusations against them, such as possession of skin of endangered animals, unless they forfeited the monastery. To normalize the society, multiple television channels with neo-Hindutva affiliations aired the assassination attempt alive. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism escaped from the bathroom window of his quarters, the hut which was set afire, and he continued to be hounded by the police of 3 states, the neo-Hindutva media, and state intelligence for months. One can see here in Tiruvannamalai, Salem, Hosur, Pondicherry, attempts to mob lynch and kill the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism occurred. March 4th of 2010, about 2 days after the false fabricated video was released, the state police of Tamil Nadu went ahead and filed the fabricated accusations on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, charging him of rape without mentioning anybody as a victim of the rape. 25th March 2010, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's anticipatory bail was denied by the High Court, citing apprehension of the petitioner is unfounded, saying that there was no basis on which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism could be arrested because there was no case, no victim, nothing. So he did not need bail. 25th March 2010, in the anticipatory bail was denied by the High Court, saying the very same thing. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism could be arrested as no investigation, could not be arrested technically, legally, as no investigation records mentioned him as involved in any crime being investigated. And the court said he did not need a bail and so denied the petition. The court also directed the Council of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to approach the right forum for bail if required. Since 1977, the Supreme Court has laid down a clear principles and held in various judgments that bail. However, throughout the period of illegal arrest and torture of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in 2010, his bail petitions were denied on unfair and prejudicial grounds. That was a glimpse into just a few months, just literally probably a few days in 2010 of the massive persecution done to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the whole genocide that was attempted on Kailasa. But today, as we speak, and when India faces the oncoming 3rd wave of the global pandemic called COVID-19. What is Kailasa doing? What is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism doing for humanity? Let us see.
New COVID care centers were opened across India. That includes the Adi Kailasa in Bidadi, Salem Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Thiruvannamalai Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Rajapalayam Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Puduvai Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Pattanam Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Sirakapadi Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Sripuram Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Avattipalayam Erode in Tamil Nadu, Hosur Adinam in Tamil Nadu, and Baroda Adinam in Gujarat. So, in addition to the multiple free COVID care centers that were opened across India, various social services were offered during pandemic in Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies across India. Spiritual services offered during pandemic in Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies across India. And apart from all of this, the Devi Parashakti has been blessing the humanity with cosmic revelations. She's revealing these to protect the humanity on ongoing pandemic. The COVID care centers are equipped with best medical care, whether it is allopathy, Ayurveda, or the Siddha medicine. They have the best infrastructure to accommodate thousands. So at present, the Adi Kailasa Sarvanga Peetham is working on accommodating more than 10,000 people. The accommodation for multi-layered quarantine. Next is the emergency ambulances. The campus is equipped with enough emergency ambulances or the ICU on wheels. The campus is also equipped with enough fire safety equipment maintenance. Then you have personal protective medical equipment. Then the food security management through food banks. So the groceries are stored for next 3 years to enable the Annadan is happening every single day for the next 3 years. Next is the organic farming, ensuring sustainable practices are available in the campus. We are also doing the organic farming. So you can register yourself to be part of this COVID care protection centers. You can register yourself through this link, kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. KAILASA.org/KAILASA Care, CARE. So let's take a few minutes to register ourselves through this link and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Next, we're going to see some of the glimpses of what is happening in the Adi Kailasa Sarvanya Peetham. In the COVID care centers, you can see how the participants are blissfully enjoying the morning spiritual routine, which includes yoga and Shiva Puja in the enlightenment ecosystem in Adi Kailasa. The morning spiritual routine makes up the first 5 hours of anyone's day. It is one of the most fundamental and vital practice for any seeker, anyone on the path to achieve enlightenment, on its path to achieve the superconscious space of Paramashivoham. Kailasa's Department of Human Services is responsible for overall needs of all the visitors of Adi Kailasa. The Minister of Infrastructure reconciles their current standing and status of housekeeping, taking note of what needs to be upgraded and procured to make each multi-layered quarantine facility self-sufficient. Kailasa's Department of Human Services is responsible for overall needs of all the visitors of Adi Kailasa Ministries of Infrastructure, that reconciles their current standing and status of the housekeeping, taking note of what needs to be upgraded and what needs to be procured to make sure each multi-layered quarantine facility is self-sufficient. With this, we come to the end of today's Adi Kailasa's multi-layered quarantine facility segment, and we welcome all the viewers to join us in Adi Kailasa for COVID Care Protection Center. You can register through the link below, which is kailasa.org/Kailasa Care, KAILASA.org/KAILASACARE. So we invite everybody, whoever is feeling insecure, whoever wants to protect yourself and your families on this ongoing pandemic, for you to have a spiritual breakthrough and ensure that all your personal, physical, and medical needs are all taken care. You are welcome to join us in COVID Care Protection Centers. Next, we will be having the power manifestation session. So before we go to the next segment, let's have a short break.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva.
Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nityanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tartamasyadi Lakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam
Bhavaditam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is power manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagwan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift.
Science of power manifestation. Science of power manifestation is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Bhagavan beautifully explained what is power manifestation. It is the cognitive shift in us, understanding the higher reality and start manifesting your life from the higher science. And each one can experience it again and again, repeat it. That is why it is called a science. And the evidence that this is a science, from all that Bhagavan has beautifully given the scriptural reference, the eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas. Apta Pramana, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamas, all Varsiddhas, all of them are authority of Hinduism, manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatars, personal experience, the power of each power, Bhagavan's very own Leela, and mapping to the Shastra Pramana. Shakshi Pramana, experience of the millions of disciple devotees, followers all around the world manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. Beautifully, Bhagavan has given the Kailash Kotiyat for each one of us to manifest the higher science, become the superconscious being, the special species that we are. And Pratyaksha Pramana, which proves our state scientifically that we are in the enlightened space, the measurement of being in the enlightened space, the thoughtlessness that we can experience as the highest reality. Here Bhagavan has given all the evidence for each one of us to manifest all the powers of Paramashiva. Beautifully Bhagavan explains in the Shastra Pramana. Let's go to the Shastra Pramana from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra.
Ahimsa, a way of living non-violent ways of love.
The Shastra Pramana for the power of remote vision is taken from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 63, Dharana 40. Sarvam deham chinmayam hi jagatva aribhavayet yugapan nirvikalpena manasa paramodayaha. Sarvam deham chinmayam hi jagatva aribhavayet yugapan nirvikalpena manasa paramodayaha.
Beautifully, Bhagavan Paramashiva gives us the sutra. Sutra 63, Dharana 40, Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Vijnana, consciousness. Bhairava, one who experiences consciousness beyond the mind. Tantra, the method in which we can experience step-by-step process. And Bhagavan beautifully explains the sutra also. Bhagavan Paramashiva says one should continuously cognize, keeping mind beyond the movement of the thought, free from any doubt or rote cognition. that the whole body and even the whole universe indeed is simultaneously of the essence of the nature of consciousness in infinite space of oneness, then the supreme awakening happens. Beautifully, he says, one should continuously cognize, continuously holding Paramashiva in our thoughts. Wherever we have messed up, we can clearly see that it is not our very own space, the Paramashiva that is manifesting, but we have done out of forgetting the Paramashiva space. Again and again, when we analyze why did we do something wrong or why did we slip in something, is clearly defined how we are running our life without the Paramashiva space and messing up the whole thing. If we understand how we are, Bhagavan beautifully says, whenever we are in the oneness space of Paramashiva, we make the perfect choice. And when we lose the Paramashiva space, we mess up everything. When Krishna was lying down, Arjuna and Duryodhana, who came and who wanted to select the army, and when Krishna opened his eyes, he saw only Arjuna because he was in the feet of Bhagavan. And Duryodhana was at the head. He could not see him. And he asked, when did you come? He said, I came first. But Krishna said, I saw him first. Let him choose what he wants for the army. And Arjuna beautifully says, I just want you. Other than you, nothing else is required in my life. And Duryodhana feels he is such a dumb thing that he has chosen that. And he chooses Krishna's army instead of Krishna. And he thinks that the army can win anything. And the leftover, whatever was left over, was given to Arjuna. Even he had given the first choice. Krishna wants to make clear how Arjuna only chose him, not the outer world calculated deals. And simply he won the war. The whole science, how we exist, who we exist, Bhagavan says, if you do not hold the oneness space with Paramashiva, again and again you fall into the delusion and you have to go through the struggle. If you understand how your mind works, literally the Rajasic, Tamasic and Sattva, when Arjuna is in Sattvic vein, he can only reflect the consciousness as his reality. So he won his war. The Rajasic, it's like Bhagavan says, if your driver is totally drunkard, how would he drive the car? That's how you have a Rajasic mind. Then that is how decisions are made. If you have Tamasic, even worse, you have a blind and a deaf and a drunkard driver. What would he drive you? And if you have Paramashiva, Arjuna has Krishna himself as a charioteer, how would he drive? The life when is driven from the context that I am Paramashiva, again and again from where you existed, again and again aligning to Paramashiva constantly throughout the day, that I am Paramashiva, Parashakti is manifesting my coffee, Parashakti is cooking for me, Parashakti is doing all the things for me. As yourself, Bhagavan beautifully said, when Ramakrishna took the form of Devi, he simply had the physical changes of Devi. To that extent, he lived as a Devi. When Ravana said, if I have to take Rama's space, simply I will become good. I don't want to be that way. Rama does not have lust pattern and I cannot take that. He just denied himself. Each of these spaces that you occupy inside you, Bhagavan says, that is very important who you think you are. You think you are Paramashiva, you will manifest ultimate auspiciousness. If you think I am the greed pattern, I am the struggle pattern, I am the old age pattern, I am the impossible pattern, frustrated, whatever you think and cherish inside you, you reflect that on others and others just become that reality for you. All that you projected is what they are. They are not the reality how they exist. Nothing to blame anybody because it's a projection of you how you wanted that reality to happen. And after projecting it, after crashing the car, we say, why did the driver drive like this? We let the drunkard, blind driver to drive. We had the tamasic way of life, laziness and boredom. No point in taking anything up and doing contribution to the planet Earth. And then how do our life be? If our life is the reaction of what you exist as yourself, as the reflection. So making sure again and again you align to the higher reality, the Sattva space, the Paramashiva space, the more than that have you can experience the oneness space, Shakti Pada, where you start melting yourself into Bhagavan. That becomes the Jnana Vairagya Bhakti. In everything am I doing that. And simply it says continuously cognize and keeping the mind beyond the moment, not letting the mind in and having only Paramashiva space continuously, then free from the doubts that we have. If I keep thinking Paramashiva, will I get my milk, I get my food, I'll get my job? Yes, much better than how we are functioning, because he makes all the reality happen. If your survival needs, the breathing, the food, the brain, everything functions from the Paramashiva space, that you did not bother. But if your outer world detail, you think you have to take it in a hand and try to struggle with it. It is not the struggle. You go on contributing, Bhagavan says. Simple integrity, simple obedience makes it happen. And then it says whole body, even the whole universe, indeed simultaneously of the essence of the nature of the consciousness, in the infinite space of oneness, then the supreme power awakening happens. Beautifully, Bhagavan says how when we are in such a oneness with Paramashiva, then a new reality is opened up where we have the higher intelligence to manifest our abundance, auspiciousness, and health and everything in from a different context, different perception, different infinite possibility, and much more. When we wake up from this struggle, we'll be so relieved from all this, and we'll have such a gratitude that Bhagavan is taking care of our life completely, and just surrendering to Bhagavan's lotus feet, we can manifest any power. Beautifully here, Yashoda, she was given the experience of Krishna showing the vision of the whole universe. Again and again, Krishna many times have shown the universe. Yashoda will be in oneness with Krishna. And then the minute he closes his mouth and starts crying, she'll forget everything and go back to her Yashoda space. But being in that oneness, what she experienced made her realize the enlightened space, the conscious space, who she is, and understanding the higher science. And Bhagavan beautifully explains here. Just give a beautiful listening to Bhagavan and experience the oneness.
The other part is the God particle in you, your consciousness. Understand? I dedicate myself to your consciousness. I will always be ferocious with your patterns. For your patterns, I am the villain, worst villain. For your consciousness, I am not only the friend, I am you. You are me. So understand, whenever you feel you melt, your eyes pour, you feel my life is fulfilled, complete. You are experiencing the real you, which is me, the God particle in you. Whenever you feel I am a villain, I came just 1 minute late, he shut the door. What kind of a Swami he is? He should have more patience. Understand, I am a worst villain for you.